Hi, everybody. My name is Xena Balcazar. I'm an attorney here at Mandelbaum Barrett. I form part of the matrimonial litigation department and the elder law department. And today we're going to be talking a little bit about what we call the black hole in matrimonial proceedings. And that essentially is when a spouse dies in the middle of your divorce proceeding and how that intersects with probate law. About 20 years ago, this was an issue that came up before the Supreme Court, and what would happen as far as a individuals' equitable rights to marital assets should their spouse die before a final judgment of divorce is entered. As of last year, the equitable distribution statute has been amended to address that the family court now holds jurisdiction over equitable distribution should one spouse dies. Prior to that, as I said, it was somewhat of a black hole. What happens when a spouse dies? Does the surviving spouse get what we call an elective share or an intestate share of the estate assets? Do they get any share of the marital assets they've contributed to during the marriage? And just to walk you a little bit about what an elective share intestate share is. An elective share allows a surviving spouse who is no longer entitled to the deceased spouse estate to collect a certain percentage, specifically a 1/3 of the augmented estate. There's also intestacy laws where descendant of the decedent receives a certain percentage of the estate. Now, when we have a case where a divorce proceeding has gone on, that right essentially disappears. And that was one of the gaping black holes that we referenced earlier today with regards to what happens when your spouse dies in the middle of your divorce. And as of last year, we've been able to close that gap. And the statute has now been amended to indicate that family court will address issues of equitable distribution should your spouse die in the middle of the divorce. In amending this statute, the legislators have now addressed how the surviving spouse can be protected and how their rights to those marital assets can be preserved. Should you or anyone you know have any questions on how to preserve your rights during the pendency of a divorce proceeding, please do not hesitate to reach out to our offices. Thank you.